Good day, I'm Benjamin Henry, and this is the news on Northern Star Television. Headlines: Federal government suspends implementation of expatriate employment levy. President Bola Tinubu leads successful trade and investment outreach in CAR. Consultations initiated after widespread condemnation of expatriate employment levy. Federal government condemns abductions of IDPs in Borno and school children in Kaduna. Government vows to free victims and bring assailants to justice. Details. Good evening, I'm Benjamin Henry, and this is the news on Northern Star Television. Federal government suspends implementation of expatriate employment levy. In a significant move, the federal government has announced the suspension of the recently enacted expatriate employment levy, administered by the Nigerian Immigration Service under the Federal Ministry of Interior. Della Kelvin Oy, the national president of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture, NASIMA, revealed that the decision was made in response to concerns raised by the private sector regarding the potential impact of the levy on foreign direct investment. The suspension is intended to facilitate further consultations with NASIMA and other crucial stakeholders. A joint committee, comprising members from relevant ministries and NASIMA, will be formed to review the expatriate employment levy policy before any further rollout. President Bola Tinubu leads successful trade and investment outreach in Qatar. Turning to diplomatic affairs, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu demonstrated leadership by leading a successful trade and investment outreach in Qatar. This effort aims to strengthen economic ties and collaboration between Nigeria and Qatar. The outreach was followed by a productive meeting with key government officials, including the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Aniere, and the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo. The private sector applauds these efforts to boost Nigeria's economic landscape on the global stage. Federal government condemns abductions of IDPs in Borno and schoolchildren in Kaduna. In a distressing turn of events, the federal government has strongly condemned the recent abductions that unfolded in Wurge community, Borno, involving internally displaced persons, IDPs, and the subsequent kidnapping of schoolchildren in Kuriga community, Kaduna State. According to a security source, the victims in Borno were abducted while engaged in the seemingly routine task of fetching firewood from the bush. The incident occurred near the Baban Sansani camp, Zulum camp, and Arabic camp, highlighting the vulnerability of those already displaced by conflict. Simultaneously, assailants targeted Kuriga community located on Kaduna Burn-in Gwari Road in Kaduna State. The attackers abducted 100 pupils, including the head teacher from a primary school, and further took away 187 students from a secondary school. The gravity of these abductions has sparked widespread concern and garnered swift response from the federal government. In response to these distressing events, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, conveyed the government's stance, declaring the acts as utterly unacceptable and a direct violation of fundamental values of humanity. He emphasized that the government stands resolutely against any form of violence or coercion targeted at innocent civilians, particularly the most vulnerable among them. President Bola Tinubu, extending heartfelt sympathies to the affected families and communities, has directed security agencies to ensure the swift return of all abducted persons and the arrest of the perpetrators. The president's directive underscores the urgency and seriousness with which the government is approaching these incidents. Minister Idris stressed that the government is unwavering in its commitment to protecting the lives and property of citizens. He pledged that no effort would be spared in the pursuit of justice for the victims and holding the perpetrators of such heinous acts accountable to the full extent of the law. Government vows to free victims and bring assailants to justice. The minister urged the public to remain calm but vigilant, calling on citizens to provide relevant information that might assist security agencies in freeing the victims and arresting the assailants. Collective action and solidarity, according to the minister, are essential for Nigeria to effectively combat the menace of banditry, insurgency, and overall insecurity. Federal government suspends implementation of expatriate employment levy. President Bola Tinubu leads successful trade and investment outreach in Qatar. Consultations initiated after widespread condemnation of expatriate employment levy. Federal government condemns abductions of IDPs in Borno and school children in Kaduna. Government vows to free victims and bring assailants to justice. Subscribe to Northern Star Television for more in-depth coverage and updates on these developing stories. Thank you for joining us. This is Benjamin Henry reporting for Northern Star Television.